so
Okay.
you can't hardly lose them all on pine straw. So if you get off track a little bit.
Okay, let's get started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get our meeting started. First, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance and then a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Now I need a motion and a second to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Okay. Now I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the September 17th regular board meeting.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Okay. Now I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the September 26th work session.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Okay, thank you. Now we're on communications first. Dr. Romans will do student voices of the Knight Senate student leaders.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to have our student voice group come to the stage, if you would, please. I will introduce them. This is just a small portion of our Knight Senate, a smaller representation of what we're doing with our RSVP, but we have Ella Davis, Mika Steichmeyer, Clara Maloney, Lillian Miller, and Cadence Pegram, and they're going to visit with you about our Knight Senate and RSVP program. Mr. Smith, if you'll start that video, that'd be great.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you. I'm Ella. Knight Senate is a new program this year. FHS, we're made up of about 50 general members and 11 officers, Mika, Lily, and myself included. Our mission is to improve the climate and culture of FHS through a bunch of different programs, including RSVP, which is something we'll talk about later, but we've introduced this year.
The current priorities of Knight Senate, are school beautification, monthly club recognition, weekly student recognition, club outreach, recycling program, social events, monthly club introductions through BKTV, and RSVP.
RSVP is a national program affiliating with National Student Council. Before we introduce this to the high school staff this year, we actually made a video explaining it. So we'll show that to you guys now.
Hi, my name is Lily, and I'm the president of Knight Senate, a new club that we're introducing this school year.
Hi, I'm Ella, and I'm the parliamentarian of Knight Senate.
Hi, I'm Mika. I'm the vice president, and our club Knight Senate is all about inclusion, engagement, and participation within our school. Our club has been given the opportunity to incorporate a new program called RSVP. In this video, we'll be explaining the impact of RSVP within our school and what your jobs will look like.
Yay! RSVP stands for Raising Student Voices and Participation. This year, we will try to improve school climate and culture by amplifying students' voices regarding issues within our school.
There are 4 main groups of people involved in RSVP. First, we have the student leaders, which are the Knight Senate officers, who will train the student facilitators to go to classes and talk to students. Next are the student facilitators. They'll be the ones talking to students in classes to try and vet what they see as problems within our school. Additionally, we have student participants who will just be helping talk about the issues and engage with the student facilitators when they come to class. Finally, we have the staff, who will volunteer their classes and class time, as well as encourage a free flow of ideas during our seminars.
Our program will be divided into 3 summits throughout the semester, which will progress as follows. So we'll start off with Summit 1, which is students and student facilitators come up with lists of top issues that they see within our school. And then we'll move to Summit 2, which is student facilitators present 10 issues that were shared most in Summit 1. From these 10 issues, students will pick the 3 of the ones that they see are the most prominent. And then we'll move to our final summit, which is Summit 3, and this will allow for a plan to be pitched to students for them to provide feedback on the before implementation.
If you're interested in helping out and being a student facilitator, there's a form in your grade levels classroom waiting for you.
See you soon. Thanks for your time. Bye, guys.
We held Summit 1 on September 18th. During this day, we had over 115 student facilitators go to all 54 of our seminars and give the students a chance to voice their opinions on what they believed needed to be changed about our school. After this, we made a list of the top 5, these including open lunch, reworking blitz days, outdoor lunch seating, MAC travel line, and having more microwaves in the lunchroom.
Tomorrow, October 16th, we'll be moving forward with Summit 2, which will look like all of the same 115 student facilitators going back into the seminars who they've built a relationship with, and then they can look over those 5 main issues we found within our school and pick the top 3 and hopefully come up with a plan in order to solve these issues.
On November 20th, our student facilitators are returning to all 54 seminars for what we hope will be the final time, and they're presenting our plan of action to solve the #1 problem that they came up with, and we're just making sure to note any concerns or questions that they have about the plan, and just really making sure that they know that their voices are being heard and what is going to change within their school.
Night Senate meets twice a month from 6 to 7 p.m., usually to prep for an event or discuss the things in the summits that are going on for RSVP. We look forward to improving the climate and culture of FHS and hopefully extending these benefits into the district and helping other people as well. So thank you guys for your time.
And now Dr. Mons will do the Heartland Hero and the featured teacher of the high school.
All right, Ms. Bullock, you want to join me on the stage? I don't think she really wants to, but. All right, I'm going to start talking about our Heartland Hero as soon as I take off my glasses because I need bifocals. We all see people in our school community who have gone above and beyond. A community member or a parent who promotes positive school culture and climate. They're often unsung heroes who lead quietly from behind. Many times, community Heartland heroes go unnoticed and unrecognized. The Heartland Hero recognition is an intentional and purposeful avenue for recognizing community members to highlight their unique contributions to the district or a campus. The Heartland Hero was created by our district about 20 years ago. Heartland Heroes are inspiring individuals, organizations, or businesses who, through their selflessness, strength, and self-sacrifice, have been agents of change, positively benefiting others and the Farmington R7 School District, and our focus of academic safety, community connectedness, and future-focused. FHS has partnered with the American Heart Association and North County High School for roughly a decade to raise awareness and fundraise for the American Heart Association. One of our favorite parts of this opportunity is to unite schools and our student body with another school that's supposed to be our biggest rival. Watching them come together for the greater good when it matters most is what education is all about. This opportunity would not be possible without generous community members like Ms. Charlene Bullock. It is an honor to recognize an outstanding individual whose dedication and generosity have made a significant impact on our community. The Heartland Hero Award celebrates those who have demonstrated exceptional commitment to the well-being of others, and our recipient has truly exemplified this through her unwavering support for the American Heart Association and our school district. Over the years, Charlene has been instrumental in raising over $25,000 in the last 11 years, showcasing a deep-seated commitment to combating heart disease and promoting overall health. Her efforts have not only provided financial support, but have also inspired others to join in this noble cause. For nearly a century, the American Heart Association has been at the forefront of the fight against heart disease and stroke. Their mission is to be a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives, and Ms. Bullock is their beacon of hope. The support and dedication of individuals like Charlene are invaluable to organizations like the American Heart Association and Farmington High School. Their contributions not only provide financial aid, but also foster a sense of community. It is with great pleasure that we present the Heartland Hero to Charlene, acknowledging her remarkable efforts in making a difference in the lives of many. So thank you.
Dr. Watts,
Oh,
I'd like to shake her hand.
so fast, Charlene.
Yeah, not so bad.
Thank you so much for all your work you do. We appreciate you. So much, it was so good to talk to you.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for the student community.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Peggy Harris. If you ever wondered why in the first time in, I don't know, 35 years, we didn't get to have a homecoming parade, it's the power of Peggy Harris. She made it rain a lot so she didn't have to ride in the parade. That's my theory, but I don't know if it's true, but okay. So today, FHS celebrates an individual whose dedication to education rises above the ordinary. As we honor our Teacher of the Year, Peggy Harris, we not only recognize her outstanding achievements in the classroom, but also her embodiment of compassion and commitment to imparting real-world experiences to her students. Peggy came to us in 2005 and has truly made FHS a better place by serving on various committees, sponsoring FCCLA, and being an all-around caring individual. In a world where knowledge often feels detached from everyday life, our Teacher of the Year has bridged the gap between the academic and the practical. Moreover, her efforts to foster a sense of community within the school and engage with the surrounding community demonstrate her dedication to education. By reaching out to address broader community needs, she's not just teaching subjects, but also imparting important life lessons about empathy and social responsibility. For example, this week, I think we got 3,000 pair of shoes for your shoe project. 3,000? Yeah, 3,000. The ag shop is full. Compassion is the cornerstone of her teaching philosophy. She understands that behind every lesson, every assignment, and every interaction lies a unique individual with their own set of challenges and triumphs. With empathy as her guiding light, she has created a nurturing environment where every student feels seen, heard, and valued. But what truly sets Peggy apart is her dedication to providing real-world experiences for her students. Whether through innovative projects, internships, or guest speakers from diverse backgrounds, she has enriched students' education with insights that cannot be gleaned from a textbook alone. But perhaps her greatest legacy lies not in the knowledge she imparts, but in the hearts she touches. There are times in her life when Peggy could very easily have written off her responsibilities, but instead, she put her students and her coworkers first and ensured that they received the best of her. So today, as we honor our Teacher of the Year, let us not only celebrate her remarkable achievements, but also remember she empowers our students to navigate the world with courage, wisdom, and grace, and we are forever grateful for her. Congratulations.
Okay, at this time, we'll have a short presentation with Mr. Corey Warner with the Unitech Student of the Month.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me. I forgot my speech, Nolan. Sorry, I'm gonna have to wing it. So my name's Mr. Corey Warner. I teach graphic design over the Unitech Career Center. And above all, I think teaching at Unitech, we really try to, of course, teach a trade to these kids. And as a teacher, I like to identify the students I have who really are exceptional at what this trade is and that could potentially have a future in this business. And for me, this year, Nolan, come on up. It was an easy pick for me to have Nolan as my student of the month. He's an exceptional student. The quality of work he does is excellent. He's got good attendance, all those things that you want your students to have. He's always there. He's well-humored. He gets along well with everyone else in class. So it's easy for me to award Nolan this nice little plaque we got for you here. And I will say, before I get it off to Nolan, just as a note to Farmington school districts, all of my students I've had from Farmington at Unitech have been very exceptional students for the most part. I've really enjoyed all the kids I've had, and I hope to have a continued relationship with the school district, and just send me more of those good kids. All right, here you go, Nolan. You go first.
Congratulations, Nolan. Thanks for representing your school so well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying that.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you for your leadership.
Okay, now we'll have a short presentation from Dr. Joe Gilgore from MAC.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Joe Gilgore, president of Mineral Area College, and if you remember from last year, we started this new practice of every fall coming in and talking to the school districts that form the Mineral Area College taxing district. Our taxing district is made up of 6 school districts. And so kind of come in and give you an update on things going on at Mineral Area College, as well as a brief snapshot of your students at MAC. So some things going on. Our new Industry and Technology Center is open and thriving. That was an 80,000 square foot workforce development and customized training center that we added 20,000 more square feet to just this last August for automotive tech. So 100,000 square feet now, just doing amazing. The programs are full, students are in there all the time, community events are in there all the time. If you have not seen that, I would encourage you to stop by sometime and check it out. You can just walk in and check it out yourselves, or let me know and I'll be happy to show you around and talk about it. But it's pretty impressive structure, and doing what we can to help the workforce in this community. The programs are full, and the design of the building are all reflective of the industry input that we had in this community and the demand for these programs. In fact, if you go through the building, you'll notice it does not look like an academic building. It looks like an industrial building. It looks like it belongs in an industrial park, and that is on purpose. We met with our industrial leaders who said they want a training facility that looks like what it looks like when they go to work. And so we probably did a little too good of a job, actually, because all of our dealerships are saying our automotive is a little nicer than theirs, but it's okay. It's new. It'll get dirty. Other things going on. Last year at this time, I probably told you we were starting construction on a softball field. That is complete. We've been playing on it. We have lights now on our softball and baseball and soccer fields. That was part of the bond that we passed in April. We have 4 nationally ranked athletic teams right now. Our volleyball team is number 17 in the nation. Our men's soccer team is number 9. Our men's cross-country team is number 5, and our women's cross-country team is the number 1 cross-country team in the nation. So we're very proud of what those student athletes are doing. We have 2,519 students currently attending Mineral Area College. That is 5% more than last year. And of those students, 453 of them are Farmington High School students. That does not mean they're necessarily recent grads. It means they put down that they went to Farmington High School at some point. So the age range is out there, but that's 18 more students than you had last year at this time. And 18% of all of MAC enrollment right now is a Farmington High School grad, which is the highest of any of our school districts that are in our taxing district. So that's pretty cool. Average GPA is 3.04, which is up about 20 points from last year at this time. So again, very good. And in the spring, you graduated 29 students who graduated with their high school diploma and their college diploma on the same day. So that's all I got for you. You got any questions? All right, well, thanks again for letting me come do this. I really appreciate it. If at any time you need more data than this, Dr. Gibbs can get a hold of me. I can get that for you, give it to him, or I'm happy to come back and present anytime. But thank you so much for having us and your support of Mineral Area College.
Anytime that they get a dinner. Me and the kid. Thanks for taking your time.
Great job.
Thank you all.
Shake your hand.
Okay, under information, you have the monthly financial report, and we'll have a presentation of the student achievement report by Mrs. Sheets.
Good evening. Last spring, our students participated in state assessments. So students in grades 3 through 8 participated in the grade level assessments, and they were assessed in math and ELA, as well as science in grades 5 and 8. High school students participated in EOC assessments in Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Biology, ELA 2, and Government. So Corey, if you would go to slide 3, thank you. The state averages as well as our district averages are listed for our district performance level, and all of our tested areas remained above state average with the exception of the government in social studies. It was below the state average. So while state averages have remained relatively consistent over the last couple of years, our district scores, for the most part, with the exception of the government area, have remained pretty consistent as well. For our individual grade levels, there were some decreases in performance levels that did not meet or exceed the state averages. They were within just 1 to 2% below. So that were in the areas of 4th and 5th grade ELA, 5th grade, 7th, 8th grade math, as well as Algebra 2, Biology, and Government. So when you look at the 5th grade group, the group of students that were in 5th grade last year and tested, they're a part of our cohort of students who have been significantly behind since they began testing in 3rd grade. And that's that group of students that did not have that 1st grade year due to the pandemic, that full 1st grade year. So we're taking a look at interventions, what we've provided for those students, and how we can continue to close those gaps with our students. So next steps on those areas of weakness, we've already began meeting with high school building leaders and teachers in order to begin discussing and analyzing data to create those next steps for biology and government. In addition to that, we've begun meeting with grade levels. I meet with grade levels, building leaders, and we discuss their data. And we not only look at and analyze the data, but we look at ways to develop instructional practices and strategies to not only help with student achievement on state assessments, but to give students the knowledge and skills that they need to be successful in other areas as well. So the last part that I have is for the graduate follow-up and CTE programs. So as you can see, as outlined in the chart, the follow-up rate measures the extent to which the students of a school or LEA pursue gainful opportunities after graduation. So examples of this would be competitive employment, military, or 2- and 4-year colleges. So those students, as you can see, 4-year was 25.4%, 2-year was 28.7%, and then the employment was 41.6%. So when you take that graduate follow-up and look at the detail that goes with what areas that those students went into, what fields or what career program that they were going into, it can be broken up with the majority of our students that went into PLTW, or those science and technology areas, and family and consumer sciences, so which would be counseling, mental health, early childhood, and other education programs. What questions do you have for me?
You said you had some intervention for the fifth grade group that had come through the COVID period, is that right?
Yes, so not just for that group, but we have those interventions for all of our groups of students that need those interventions. But yes, looking at what interventions they've been provided, what we can continue to do to close those gaps.
So how do the current fifth graders, how do they compare to the last year's fifth graders? Do you think that they're advancing?
I think that we have seen some increases in those students in their scores as time goes on. I believe, Angie, they were less than 1% less than the state average. It was a fraction of a percent less than the state average. So they were getting pretty close to that state average.
So hopefully that can be addressed.
Yes, hopefully we can continue to,
Resolved.
close those gaps with that group of students.
Well, I think, haven't we talked about Algebra 2 before?
Yes, we did. We talked about that last year. So Algebra 2 is not a required state assessment. You can take Algebra 2 for accountability purposes. And so we began having more groups. Last year or the year before last, we only had like 11 to 12 students that actually took the EOC for Algebra 2. But this year we had around 65 students that took the EOC for Algebra 2. And so it was just within 3% below where the state average for Algebra 2 was. So when you think about our score of, I believe, 55% out of 65 students that we had take it, that was not a bad average for us to earn.
So there was some improvement there.
There was some improvement, yes. We had a greater number of students to take that, and we hope to continue that practice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sheets. And now we have a discussion with the bond issue information with Dr. Gibbs.
Okay, so Amanda laid out the updated sheet that Wade has prepared. He got this to us late on Friday. And option one is pretty much there's a few changes based on what we talked about at our work session that we had recently. So it's pretty similar to what we originally proposed. And that would be obviously, getting a lot of projects done all across the district. But there was some concern with the magnitude that we would be asking for. But knowing that we kind of have to keep the Performing Arts Center in place at the high school if we're ever going to make any additions or expansions to the high school. So you'll see, of course, across all options that we have kept that in place. And so to bring the dollar amount down some, we would have to remove the expansion of the high school, the additional classroom space over to a future phase, and both of the other options. And that's the biggest change for the high school that we changed around. And so for the middle school, once again, it goes back to creating a storm shelter and expanding classroom space, providing a little more flexible space in that building, getting some of those temporary classrooms back to the way they were originally designed. So the first two options would have that stay in place versus trying to get that cost down, would move it out of phase one and into a future phase, probably phase two. Most of the other things that from phase one to phase two and three stay the same. So those were the biggest changes that we could come up with. But they present challenges as far as if you take that second story expansion, move that out of phase one, and that puts it in the future when we do that, that would actually, we would have the auditorium built, and it would kind of be an obstruction of all the work going on. So if we could do those projects together, that's probably more advantageous. And then if we take the middle school expansion out, we are eliminating the storm shelter from that building, just something we have to think through and talk through. Wade could not come tonight, so he gave some dates that we can discuss at the end of, as we go back out of closed session at the end to figure out what works best to hopefully nail down this plan so we can, they can start putting some ideas together for marketing purposes of what we're going to do when we go into the later in the semester here and move into the spring semester as we start presenting the ideas of what we want to do. So questions on those options? All the projects are there, they're just kind of moved around to try to control costs somewhat.
Dr. Gibbs, on the building addition at the high school, what was the determining factor? Future space or?
So we do have some classrooms located in kind of not ideal locations. We have a science classroom and an old locker room in the basement. We'd like to convert that space back to usable athletic space for a wrestling program, a girls wrestling program. We also have the drama program down there as well. And so that would free up some classroom space to put them into other parts of the building. And then we also have the plan to take the somewhat oddly configured pod areas, open those back up to where we would create some flexible spaces where we would have joint classes come to do projects, project-based learning, more innovative approaches as opposed to just the small classrooms that are there. So that would open up that space. We would then be able to move those classrooms so that teachers would still have a dedicated classroom, but shared spaces they could go to work. So that's kind of the thought behind that expansion.
What would be the approximate number of classrooms in that?
I think they could get up to as many as 8, but I'm not sure. I was going to talk to Wade. I was looking at that.
Okay.
Love the swim meet. Maybe if we could do a smaller addition, might cut some costs there. That's something we can talk to him about at the work session because 8 is probably more classrooms than we need, to be honest. So if we needed 4, then we would probably be in pretty good shape for the future. And then you weren't at the work session, but one thing that we had hoped to maybe do that addition, and then the second phase, the front of that would be the Performing Arts Center, but because of the regulations passed in 2018 after a series of tornadoes around the country in our area, they put into place that you couldn't expand any building unless you had a designated storm shelter there. And so really the only expansion we can do to that campus is Performing Arts Center because the second floor expansion would not be able to serve as a storm shelter. There's really nowhere else to build another wing of classes on the ground that would serve as a storm shelter. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
Is there any priority? I know he has some in red. Does red denote anything?
I think he is questioning because in the other 2 options that I sent him, option 2 and 3, I did eliminate the STEM space because I feel like we can internally do some work to just spruce up some classrooms and bring some furniture in. If we, and then that's also somewhat contingent on if we have a tax levy increase that would be able to allow us to add staff to promote that program, to actually have that program in place because those kind of go together. So we would not need that space if we don't have the extra funds to fund teachers for that space. So that's why he's got that in red. It's not because it's a higher priority, it's because it's a question mark that he's asking about.
I see. Okay, thank you.
This says C East Campus site work on there, but there is nothing listed.
Well, he has that in bold on number 1 for district-wide projects. So I'm not sure why I pulled that out, but that would be where for on the back in bold, number 1 under district. Scroll down to that, Corey.
Corey, can you scroll down?
Sorry, I'm not using my
page 2.
teacher voice. So, yep.
There you are.
Number 1, there in bold. So it's all lumped together for Lincoln, Roosevelt, and the middle school to rework the whole traffic flow there, get the buses all staged there, get more of the cars out of the road during the morning and the end of the day, and then also questions?
Okay, if there is none, then I have under the policy updates, we begin a 30-day review on all the policies listed. There's no pull of the consensual agenda, so do I have a motion and a second to approve the consensual agenda?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Okay. Now, Dr. Gibbs on the district updates.
All right. Always a lot of great things going on across this district that I get to talk about, and so it's always fun to just reflect on what we've accomplished in each month. I really appreciate the work of our team and all the dedication across the district. So I sent you all an email, and Dolores, I've agreed to jump in and help with the portrait of a graduate work. So that team's really coming together. We've got over 80 members from across the community, parents, students, staff, leadership team that'll be part of that process, where we will articulate the key skills we want students to graduate with, be successful wherever they go, whether it's career, college, and then all through life. So we are excited. We've had the orientation process. We had our project meeting yesterday to prepare for our meeting that's 2 weeks from tonight for the design process to start. And then we are making a big push as part of our wellness initiatives to get biometric screening, get as many sign up for that as we can to just promote wellness, get people aware of how they can improve their overall well-being, so that we have those set for November 1st. We bumped it up from Wellness Day to first semester, and then we'll be able to get data from BJC for the district as a whole, so we can kind of drive our wellness initiatives and our challenges that we do throughout the year with that data. So, and then as was presented, I'm very excited about the high school starting the RSVP program and getting those student voices more prevalent throughout the school, and some of the ideas they came up with that we can hopefully check off even fairly quickly on their list. And then it's always exciting to have those groups going out to the community with Habitat for Humanity. Peek Out game was a lot of fun the other night. Very hard-fought game with Jackson, and just went back and forth. So good to see the girls come together and raise money for a good cause. Moving on to Daisy Baker, Missouri Options, night school, always a great program. We've got lots of students taking HiSET tests, passing, graduating, and so that's something to certainly celebrate. The Spark program we started this year is having a lot of success transitioning kids back into their home buildings, giving them the support they need to kind of reset and be successful going back in. And then shout out to the middle school, who has the First Responders Barbecue coming up tomorrow, and appreciate their hard work. And then all the clubs they've got going to involve students. That Career Ladder has really helped us to be able to launch more opportunities for students after school. So we appreciate the board supporting us putting that into place. Same thing for Lincoln, has several clubs off to a great start. Lots of good work going on in their building with reading through the Missouri Reading Initiative, with Bean Stack all across the district. I believe the librarians presented to you on that program last year, so that's really taken off. You'll see that kind of scattered throughout the comments there of celebrations. Jefferson had a great color run, and then even though we dealt with the hurricane during homecoming week, they moved the Charger Stampede inside and let the kids run the halls, and so that was a lot of fun for them. Washington Franklin is doing a great job with their family nights. They just had another one just last week, and had a good turnout for that. The clubs are also going well there. Roosevelt hosted an event, VIP and Me Dance last week. It's a busy night last Thursday night. Lots of events going on all across the district. Truman had a wonderful safety day. They got the Friday weather the week after homecoming that we wish we could have had on homecoming, but it was beautiful. They got to fly the helicopter in, and the kids got to see that. So we really appreciate our community coming together for that opportunity for our students. Celebrating that we have the social worker that started and stationed at Dr. Lamons wanted to highlighted the fact that we had our second school day sporting event, we had a volleyball game, and it was well attended by the students, and the students had a lot of fun at that. And then I was really proud to watch the middle school and high school present during Black Knight Insight to our business and community leaders that came in for that. They did a great job. We had a lot of student involvement with that, student escorts, moving them through the building and just answering their questions. So it's really exciting to see them host those guests that day. And then if you drive by Daisy Baker, you'll see that playground will soon be going up. So those kids have not had that opportunity, and we're excited to have more play space for them. In the world of special ed, we have Cover the Cruiser that's wrapping up soon, culminates on the 25th, and TLC is having a Parent Without Limits night to help those parents get the information they need to support their student. In the world of curriculum and instruction, Ms. Turner's area, we're really trying to work more on vertical alignment for ELA and math. And so it's not just focus on your grade level, but focus on what's going on across the grade levels. So math already had a really strong meeting to start that process out about a month ago, and then they had their second one today, and we're out in the district learning from each other. So it's really going to hopefully, as Mrs. Sheets said, that's an area where we know we need some growth in with our math, and so we're taking a really intentional look at that. But we're also coupling that with staying strong in ELA. So that vertical team started on our PD day, had their first meeting, and they'll continue the same process that the math is going through. And then you can see scattered throughout the principal updates that we are preparing for conferences next week, making those as meaningful as possible. And then a lot of comments on the student support teams that are in place across the district to meet about students and how to help support them through interventions with academics and behavior. And then in the world of communications, highlight is that we are working on the second edition of the print magazine already. So we will be hopefully getting that out by the end of the semester. And then shout out to Chad, and he has a very busy time this year with fall sports, and senior nights have been going on all across the district. Just came from swim team senior night. That was a lot of fun. They had a full collection of fat heads, so hadn't been there for a swim meet yet, but I encourage you to go. It's a relaxing atmosphere and a lot of fun to see the kids in that element. But volleyball district is being hosted here next week, so that'll be an exciting event. And cross country meet is this Saturday, so will be our middle school conference meet. And last home football game coming up for the regular season on Friday. So a lot going on. The last chance to grab those fall sports. Coach told me 3 weeks from today, basketball officially starts. So we'll be into the winter sports season. No rest for the weary. Safety update. We've had a lot going on in that realm, but John handles it all in stride. So appreciate his work on just being proactive and a really solid way of working with Farmington PD to handle any concerns with the threats and get ahead of those and be proactive in our messaging. And then in the operations realm, we've got the Career Academy fully open, phase 2 complete. Esports is looking good down there, so stop in sometime if you want to see how those spaces have come together. If you drive by Jefferson, you'll see that the landscaping is really looking nice over there and dressing that building up along with the signage that Josh incorporated. So bringing that building up to standard, and then we will be moving on to Truman soon. We're going to beat the cold weather, so hopefully they get moving. And then the contractor for the painting project at the East Campus, which is Roosevelt Middle School and Lincoln, unfortunately got hurt, so he wasn't able to finish it. So we have taken that internally, and we're gradually working on it ourselves. So the middle school really came together quickly because we had that contracted out, but now we have taken it on ourselves for the time being. We're about a fourth of the way through Roosevelt, and we'll keep plugging away at it and get those buildings all matching over there with all of the fascia that needs repainted. a lot going on every month, a lot of things to check off.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gibbs. Okay, now I need a motion and a second to adjourn to closed session.
I make a motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss personnel pursuant to 610.021, paragraphs 1, 3, 13, and 14.
Second.
Roll call?
Balky?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.